Hey guys, welcome back to Football United TV. This is Gunners from All Corners, the show where we see Arsenal in multiple different accents. Stay tuned right after the intro. Hello, hello, and we're back.
Hello.
So I'm here with two of my usual suspects. We got my cousin, Anthony. How are you?
Not too bad, cousin, you?
Doing well, doing well. You gonna show your face, my man?
Oh,
We
I don't
always
know.
like seeing you're feeling
Yeah,
insecure today.
a little. I think you may have seen me on the intro. I was dancing to the intro, wasn't I?
I missed it. I missed it. I would have enjoyed it. My bad.
Well,
Well, if you want to at any point, we always enjoy seeing your face. And we got my amigo, my good friend Caio. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. Thanks for having me again.
Nah, thank you, man. Thank you. You're definitely gonna be quite crucial for today's stream because like it's been a while since Arsenal last played. I don't think we need to talk about the Villa game too much. Enough's been said. Good win. We're not going to be playing for a while. We're going to have another stream before the Crystal Palace game. So we have a different stream today for you guys. We're going to be talking about the weird rumors of Tite joining Arsenal in the near future. So Caio, who's a Corinthians fan and a Brazilian like myself, we're going to be talking about that. And Anthony's gonna say his piece as well. And the second topic is actually Caio's idea, so we're gonna get to that later on. But let's start that. Let's get that out of the way. Might have a couple of people joining soon, but I think they're gonna be needed for the second part more than the first one. So Chichi, the Brazilian, the manager for Brazil, probably the best Brazilian manager out there. I'm not gonna take anything away from that, but not definitely not someone that's loved by the entirety of the Brazilian fan base. I'm not a huge fan of his. I want Brazil to have a foreigner manager. So I was definitely surprised with the links, even though it makes sense because of the huge connection between him and Edu. They've worked together in Corinthians and Brazil, right? If I'm not mistaken. So there's a link there. Caio, what are your thoughts?
It's complicated, right? Because as you said, I am a Corinthians fan, so Chite is like a god for me. He brought the two most sought after uh, cups to Corinthians. We won the Libertadores of America with him, and we won the World Club Championship. So
Yes.
of course I love the man, but I, I am a big fan of Mikel Arteta. Everyone knows that, and Tite is not at his level. This is very clear. Tite is the best Brazilian manager. I agree with that, but we don't have a lot of good Brazilian managers,
Yeah.
so it's not a high standard for him to be the best Brazilian manager. And the kind of football that Tite tries to play is very different from Mikel Arteta. And I think now we're starting to see an Arsenal team that is much more aligned with what is the modern football, the Premier League competitive football. So I can't think otherwise than Tite would be a step back for Arsenal. I really like the guy. I would love to have him back at Corinthians, but not as Arsenal manager.
Okay. Do you see a possibility of oh, because like I don't quite believe the links, but it's been said by Globo as well. It's not like it's anything. If you guys don't know, Globo is the biggest like broadcast channel in Brazil. So like they people are gonna believe it to some extent. Do you see the possibility of this being of Chichi possibly joining Arsenal in another capacity other than as manager, or do you think there's a solid possibility that Arteta is gonna go somewhere more ambitious in the near future?
No, 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 no. I don't believe that. You can see in the press conference, Arteta's truly bought at Arsenal. He's obsessed with the idea of bringing Arsenal to the top of the Premier League and bringing Arsenal to the Champions League. So I really don't think it would be of his idea to depart for another club. Maybe if he was not playing, he was not managing the club well, and we were not playing as we are right now, we could speculate about the management trying other coaches, other managers, but I don't think so. And about Tite as a technical staff, well, I find that hard to believe because he has been the coach, the first manager for so long now. It has been more than 25 years, right? I have read his book. I have his book here, and I know about the guy's career. So I can't believe that. Really, it's difficult to accept that he would come to Arsenal and be technical staff. I don't know.
No, I meant like as a director of sorts, something like that.
Yeah, but it is Edu's job. So why
Yeah.
would he do that?
I don't know. I don't know. And like it looks to be a plan B for Arteta. Like if Arteta doesn't work out or if he wants to go somewhere else, that's my line of thought. And it I'd go more along the thought process of maybe Arteta could be doing poorly next season, so they need a plan B. But I'd think we'd go with someone younger. Chichi's 60. I just looked it up, and I was talking to Anthony. Anthony doesn't know a whole lot about Chichi, but he was telling me that if we move on from Arteta, and that's what he wants, by the way, Chichi, Anthony's Arteta out, he'd want to go to somewhere with someone younger, someone more like with more to grow. Right, cousin, you with us?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if we start on this one, this Tichy going to Barcelona, obviously this is a rumor at the minute. I can't see it happening. I can't see Arteta going anywhere at the minute. Obviously, and that most probably includes next season. So, but then again, in all fairness, I did read that Arsenal was going to offer Arteta a 3-year contract. I believe whether he signed that in a minute, I don't know. But I mean, regarding this is just obviously a rumor, as we know. Um, I don't really know much about him. Obviously, he's worked with Edu, like what you said in Corinthians. The club there. I feel if he did leave, he'd be sacked. I don't think he'd leave Arsenal and go to another club. He'd be sacked. If he was sacked, I don't think it would be this guy at all. I mean, I know Edu is like, obviously Brazilian. He's got his Brazilian contacts, obviously over in Brazil. I feel this guy, because he's like what you said, he's 60 now. I feel like if we were to replace Arteta, I would like him to replace him with someone that with a bit of experience, like an elite manager between the age of 45 and 50. That sort of thing. So
Yeah.
so they can look at the Arsenal team when they come in and think, right, well, it does need a bit of tweaking here and there, and that it'd be the right guy for it for him to do it. But yeah, this Tichy, I don't believe it. Yeah, come.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready to move on, but do you have anything to add to the matter, Caio? No. Yeah.
No, no.
I think it's a crazy rumor. Rebecca's actually like she wants some credit because she's the one that brought it to my attention. I was in the kitchen getting something to eat, and like she was watching the game, and she heard the Chichi rumors to Arsenal, and I thought she meant someone else, maybe Coutinho, but then I looked it up, and there's actually something. I think it's crazy. I don't see Arteta going anywhere for a while,
Yeah, it
actually.
was
No.
totally crazy, and I really think it's lazy journalism. Really, really, just because Edu is the technical director at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I was at the Corinthians game, and I left the stadium like 50 messages to me. Kyle, you like Tite? You will be crazy with this. Tite is to Arsenal, so I did not understand anything.
What do you see him doing after he leaves Brazil? Do you see him going back to Corinthians?
I think he will leave for a sabbatical year and study a bit more. And he has said recently that he would be able would look into managing in Italy, maybe in Portugal, maybe in Spain, but he doesn't speak English. It's another
Okay.
problem
Yeah.
on this situation. So very I find very hard to believe he would come
Yeah.
to Arsenal.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, just we're going really quickly, and the second subject's not going to take too long either. So, Anthony brought a couple of other crazy rumors to my attention, and the first one is that Arsenal is apparently going to try to go for Holland, and no one said anything about it yet. I think I know why people haven't said it. Please, for the love of God, don't think I'm not getting excited. I don't think it's a possibility, but apparently Arsenal's trying. And if they're trying, they should try to go for the big players. Why not? But do any of you two believe that that could happen in any universe?
Well, we're talking here of a 72 million pound a clause, obviously, but I don't know whether I believe this or not. He's going to go to a better team, a team that can obviously win trophies, win the league, maybe Champions League as well.
Yeah,
So as we know of that you're going to be talking like a Man City if he does come to England, or if not, if he goes to maybe like a Real Madrid or somewhere like that, But
yeah,
that's the only teams that's gonna obviously go and get him. Obviously he's not happy at Borussia Dortmund at the minute. He state that this is going to be his last season, and he is definitely going to leave. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be lovely if he did come. Just come to
of
us and
course.
then
Yeah.
bomb Lacazette out the door. But I can't see that happening. But it was a thing that I read today, and it was actually said on an official Arsenal website. So that's all I know.
Okay. Caio, any thoughts?
Mm, very hard to accept. Also, Arsenal going after Haaland. I don't. I disagree with the idea that Arsenal should go after him because it would be a big waste of time, in my opinion.
Yeah,
We could
yeah,
do
that makes sense.
we could do better with our time going
Yeah,
after players that are more realistic. And also I don't like the idea of paying agent fees to Mino Raiola and all that sort of stuff.
yeah,
Shady.
yeah,
I'm out of that.
yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. 100%. I think the Jonathan David links seem to be strong, but now the big name for striker seems to be Darwin Nunez, right? From Benfica. I don't know a whole lot about him. He's Uruguayan, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's scoring a lot of goals. Same profile as Vlahovic, right? Like that bigger striker that's good with the ball as well. He's not just that classic number 9.
Mhm.
He's got skills as well. What other rumors? Coutinho was linked with Arsenal again for like 30 odd mil. I don't want to see that happening either. I don't think it makes a lot of sense with the players we have in the squad. Any of you
No,
think differently?
no, I think I agree with
I
you,
do.
Charlie. Like,
You would
it'd be
like it,
pointless.
Kaya?
Not for 30 million, but
Okay.
something like 15, 20 million. I think that it would be a good idea because in the end of the day, if we are going to play Champions League, knock the wood, I think that we need experienced players. We need players with international, experience, and we need
Yeah.
players in general.
Yeah.
We have like 15 players to play two competitions, so
Yeah. Do you guys see us actually going for a winger if no one leaves? Because like we have four
I think
right
Pepe
now.
will leave. I think Pepe will leave. So
Okay.
I see us going for a winger. But I would also say that coaching is not a traditional winger. It's more like an attacking mid. So
Yeah. And when he plays on the wing, he plays on the left, and we're probably looking for a right-sided.
yeah, and the good about Coutinho, in my opinion, is that we can mirror what we do in the right side with Odegaard and Saka, because Coutinho is very much like Odegaard, not so much in the physical aspect, because Odegaard is showing to be a monster, almost a monster physically, but
Yeah.
Coutinho is very, he has flair. He knows how to combine with the players in the short space. He knows how to turn in tight spaces. He has a good mid-range finish, so it would be good, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it was for close to nothing, I'd be cool with that. Cousin, I actually interrupted you earlier on. Do you have anything to say about the Coutinho links?
I just, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I can see Pepe leaving next season. I feel sorry for him because obviously he hasn't played a lot of games under Arteta. I don't think that Arteta likes him in his first 11. You know, I don't think he likes him in there at all. You can understand why if it was cheap, you know, but I think he's like what you said. You think he played out more on the left, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Um, but then again, I mean, you're playing Saka on the right, and then you've got Pepe and Martinelli out on the left. So if Pepe does leave and replace him with him, continue. So yeah, I think it could be it could be a good thing. You know, he is a good attacking player. He links up well with other players as well, brings them more into the game. You know, so you've got
Yeah.
more of attacking opportunity there in front of that 18-yard box as well. So you know, it could be a good thing. But it's like what I said. My main thing for Arsenal next season is it's got to be a must. It's got to be a striker.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. What about the? I'm gonna get to the comments in a second, guys. But what about the? Well, people are just bigging us up. But what about possible free transfers like Jibala, Pogba? Who knows?
Dembele. This is the guy I wanted to replace Pepe.
Barcelona's Dembele?
I'm
Really?
crazy about him. He's so versatile. He's so good. The problem, I see two problems mainly. First one is attitude, right? Because we don't know if his his mind is in football, as Arteta keeps talking about Saka and how the boy loves football and lives football and breathes football. So we don't know that about Dembele, and he had many off-field issues at Barcelona.
Yeah.
And the other problem is that the big elephant in the room is the injuries, right? So, but when he's fit and he's in the pitch, in the football pitch, he's unstoppable, man. Really, I love him, and he would open up space for Saka to play inside as an attacking mid, or even in the outside on the left, right? Because Saka is so versatile also, and he's so
Yeah.
intelligent, and I would love to see Dembele at Arsenal.
Wow. Okay. What about you? Cuz from these names that we've mentioned, there's a lot of really good players that are running out of contract in the summer. But any specific players you take?
Do you know what? I that's agree with you. Dembele, he's a good player. Obviously, he's had his problems at Barcelona. Obviously, not getting enough game time as well. He's still a good player, still good quality. He needs more game time under his belt. Basically, he needs to play more games.
Yeah.
I think coming to the English Premier League, I reckon that'd do him, the world of good. Yeah, I could picture it now. And obviously, what you were saying with Saka, obviously with him going out wide, and when Saka can gradually come into the middle from off that wing, they can work off one another. They can play a link there, within that attacking role of the midfielder. So yeah, I think that's a good shape.
Hmm. What about Dybala? No one raise an eye for that. Like I'd like him at Arsenal.
I like him, but how many goals he got?
I think yeah, he's a little bit like Lacazette. Like he's more of a create like creative striker, but he's very
Yeah,
versatile as well. Like I think he can play in multiple positions. He's a good when he plays as a 10, he's dangerous from he's got really good long shots. I don't know.
yeah. I think with
If it's
Arsenal,
on
I
a
think
free, like
yeah, I think
probably
we
a
should
huge
go for someone.
salary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's huge salary there. I think Arsenal's been it quite a bit with players with huge salary. We've had Aubameyang, we've had Özil. So
Yeah.
it has an effect on a knock on effect. But when his players and you've got someone like Saka that's playing top goal scorer. If a player comes in, they're on 300 grand a week, and obviously Saka's not. You're going to be well.
Yeah.
You are going to be pissed, aren't you? Basically,
Yeah.
let's get
Yeah.
to the point. So, I think to be honest with you, with that striker, I think Arsenal could most probably do with a poacher in the box. Do you know what I mean? Because we got
Yeah.
so much attacking opportunities going forward. With Smith Rowe, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli. I feel that we need that poacher in the box who is constantly in the box all the time. Um, Not necessarily a striker that scores prolific goals, but a striker that can score 20 goals a season around that 6 yard box. That's what I'm saying. And I feel if we get
Evanilson. Evanilson.
something like that, yeah. What was that? Cause like, do you know what?
Evan,
I'm
he
gonna
plays
start.
for Porto.
I'm gonna start learning Portuguese. I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna talk Portuguese to all you know. I am.
No,
I
that was
am.
just a name. Like I wasn't saying anything. I was just saying the guy's name. He's a
Yeah,
striker.
yeah. But that's what we need is someone like a poacher in the box.
Okay. Caio, your thoughts on Jubala?
I don't think he's worth it really, because if we were to put a lot of money in this deal, I would much rather put a lot of money in an expensive transfer fee for any younger player, and with better potential, more versatile, and maybe smaller wages, so lower wages. So I wouldn't go for Dybala, no,
Yeah.
because he's very much like Lacazette in that he's a second striker. He's not
Yeah.
even though he links a play well as Lacazette do. Attacking the box is not his primary skill,
Closer. Yeah.
and I wouldn't go for him, no.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Right. Well, I have a late arrival. The man beyond the post, Nitesh, my friend. How are you?
I actually fell asleep twice, and I think I even had a dream where I texted you that I am just coming on and I fell asleep. But looking at their eyes, I just woke up. Actually, my family has a flight in the morning, so I was
Okay.
trying to just spend some time with my mom, like just sleep next to her so that she's going in the morning. But then I couldn't control my eyes and I just fell asleep.
Yeah. It's all good, man. I'm gonna move on to the second part of the stream. We're talking about Chichi. There was a rumor that Chichi could be joining Arsenal soon, as after he leaves Brazil. It's kind of crazy, but Caio and I discussed it, and we also spoke about some other crazy rumors. But there's a second topic. We're gonna involve you there. Let me just shout out the comments here. Big up Mr. B. Big up Amundi as well from the Man United agenda, guys. Maddie's also here, bigging up Amundi and Mr. B.
Big up, guys.
BX Gunner 81. We met the other day in Gary's stream, if I'm not mistaken, right? Welcome to the channel, man. Is this Arsenal chance to take over the winning realm of Chelsea demise? Do you guys want to answer that? Yeah, I think it is. I think we can do it. Let's push for it. So
well, that's one of our games in hand, isn't it? I mean, we've got Crystal Palace coming up, our next game, which is the 4th of April. And to be honest with you, I think I may have said it in the last stream or wherever. That's actually on my birthday. So, and when Arsenal's played on my birthday, as far as I can remember, they've never lost. So hopefully we can beat Palace, and then I think our game after is Chelsea, the game in hand. So if they lose their next game, Chelsea, we beat Palace, then we can go on and beat Chelsea. Then we're in third. So fingers crossed.
Keep in mind he's had a lot of birthdays, so that's it's good that he remembers that.
I've had 28.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Times 4. King Said Amundi, do you still think that Maguire's top 5 CB? You can't. No one can possibly think that.
I don't think he'll personally want to even waste time talking about Maguire.
No, yeah, I think that's worthless. Morley, why do you still have hair on your head? That's Steven's fault. Like, not satisfied with making me shave my hair and working for free in his channel for so long, where he makes me work there. He's also making me look like a liar to everyone because I keep telling people I'm shaving my hair and he doesn't set up the stream. It's his fault. Go complain to him. You have the contact.
You could do it on this stream, cuz. Do it on this stream.
No, because I said I was going to do it on Steven's.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Did Anthony like my video of the vanilla lolly I sent earlier?
Yes, I did, Matt, and I found it very funny, actually. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what they're talking about. I prefer it that way. 5 people watching right now, guys. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the stream if you can. And what was I going to be talking about now? That's it. All right. So Caio brought me this subject not too long ago. I think it's really interesting, mainly because we have a really, really thin squad. So he thought it would be cool for us to talk about, like, who's the player that we can't afford to get injured the most? Like, what injury would pretty much like screw our season more than any other injury in the squad? I have a couple of names in my head. I feel like there's a few fair shouts, but I want to hear what you guys have to say before getting to these names to see if I have anything to add to the list. Let's start with you, cousin.
It's obvious for me. I'm going to say Saka.
Okay.
You know, if it, and the reason being, if it wasn't for him this season, or I say it, Smith Rowe, that's the only two. I don't think Arsenal will be where they are now, technically, in the league, and obviously winning games. So if it is, it would be Saka and most probably edging towards maybe Smith Rowe. So any one of them, please stay injury free.
Okay. Well, Smith Rowe, I don't necessarily agree with you because he hasn't been starting more than Martinelli. So I definitely agree with you on the Saka one. Like, he's been scoring a lot of goals. He's probably definitely our best. Depends if you consider Odegaard an attacking player, but Saka's been our best like attacking 3 player for a long time now. Well, before you give us your names, guys, what are your thoughts on Saka? Nitesh?
I think we have managed, despite Saka being tired at times. Like when Saka looks a bit tired in some of the games, other players have stepped up. Uh, if you want, I'll just go with my name, and it is simple. Then I think to explain, I think Lacazette is the guy whom I don't want injured, because when Eddie Nketiah comes in, he's trash, he's garbage, and I don't think even if we want players on the wings, we can play Pepe, we can play Smith Rowe there if Saka is by chance injured or any of these other guys. But when we don't have a proper striker who links up the play, so Eddie coming in doesn't help us at all. And even if Eddie has come in into some of the games, he's come in as a second striker. So that clearly shows that Arteta doesn't trust him enough to like play him as the lone striker up front. In most of the games, he has sometimes even played on the wings. So that is one thing. If we lose our main striker right now, plus the captain of the team, the kids look up to him. I think that will be the most dangerous thing that could happen, and it could disrupt our entire forward play.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's another really fair shout. Some might think it's not it's out of the box, but I think it's quite an obvious one because of the replacement, as you say. I don't think Lacazette's been doing too well, but it's a huge step down to Nketiah. Caio, your thoughts on both Laka and Saka, and like who's your name if it's not one of them?
Yeah, that's a good question because at first thought, I was my answer would be Saka too. But now thinking about it again, we have pieces to play the Saka role. They are not difference makers as Saka is, and as
Mhm.
Anthony mentioned, Saka. Do you want to?
Hmm?
His the other pieces are not difference makers as Saka is, as Anthony just said. If it were not for him, we wouldn't be fourth place. I'm sure about that. And but the other pieces would maintain our structure, play worse, but maintain our structure and our way of playing, mainly Pepe and Smith Rowe. And I agree with the Lacazette choice because neither Nketiah nor Smith Rowe playing centrally would do the same as Lacazette. So we would have to change our structure, maybe for better. I don't know, but right now there are no replacements for Lacazette, and that is clear. And if I had to choose someone out of these two, I would say maybe Odegaard or Ben White, because we don't have replacements for Odegaard also, and what he does is so specific in the way that he links the play in the wide spaces and also in the central spaces. And Ben White because Holding, even though I think Holding could try to do the Gabriel role, the G Mag role, he 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 just don't have the place to do the same things that Ben White does. Ben
Okay.
White's so good in his aggressive uh, blocks and aggressive tackles and pushing the line up and trying to counter press the opposition, and Holding just can't do that.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Great answers. Great answer for sure. Luca, my man.
Yeah, big
Well,
up,
welcome to
man.
Gunner from All Corners. I think it's your first time on this show, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. My man,
Big up, Luca.
yeah,
Anthony
Big
was
up.
feeling a little insecure, but if you can turn on your camera, I thank you.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah. I'll turn my camera on right now.
awesome.
Second.
Awesome. Good looking lad as well. Awesome. Thank you, my man. Thank you. So I'm gonna go straight to you, my man. We're talking about our injury fear at Arsenal, right? Because we have such a thin squad. Who do you
Yeah,
think is the player that would hurt us the most by getting injured? Like, who can we not afford to get injured the most?
mate. The thing is, right? Like you look at it, right? We've got such a thin squad at the moment, and we're lucky enough that we're actually competing for the top four. We're putting ourselves into risks. So Arteta and Edu have put ourselves into this situation. But all jokes aside, but no, I think important players is Saka and Smith Rowe, 100%, because these two have been carrying us, and like this season, like they've carried us. We're in a top 4 battle, and we are looking good at the moment. So for me, them two, you cannot afford to get them injured, and like. There's so many individual players you can name, but the main two, there's Saka and Smith Rowe. Because if you take those two out of the equation, where's the creativity going to be?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I mean, creativity could come from Odegaard, but they offer more than that. I Anthony said the exact two names that you said. He said Saka and ESR. I agree with the Saka one very much so.
Yeah,
But as Natasha and Kayo both pointed out, Pepe offers something similar, right? Like it's not like the team setup would change a lot. If we lose Lacazette, for instance, as they
yes,
mentioned, Eddie Nketiah comes into play, and the names that I was thinking, and no one said them as of now, are Ramsdale for sure. That's one. There's a huge gap between him and Leno. I thought Partey was going to be mentioned because Partey's been playing really well, and
yeah. I didn't mention him as the first option, but Partey has actually been good quite recently for Arsenal, and for me, yes, he will be very important in our midfield because he's probably the best what you've got. He's better than
yeah,
Granit Xhaka, in my opinion.
in
And
everyone's opinion.
well, yeah, Xhaka's rubbish, and
Yeah,
but Partey for me, he's been really important in the midfield recently. And if you lose someone like that of that caliber in the midfield, then we don't have anyone else. And not look, I like the Conga, but he's not ready for the Premier League just
no,
yet. And for me, he needs to go out on loan, get a bit of game time. Maybe he can come back as a player. What people want to see in the future for him. Mohamed El Neni, he can do a good job, but he ain't good enough. So, like, Partey is Marley will be a very important miss if we lose. Like when we lost him in the African Cup of Nations, despite we didn't sign anyone, we were crying out midfielders, we were crying out striker. And now, yes, we have put ourselves into this situation. Like, yes, we are competing in the top 4, but amount of our thin squad, the squad depth isn't great. You've maybe got 1 or 2 players who can come off the bench and give you a little bit of options. But when we got rid of the likes of Aubameyang, yes, we got rid of a couple of deadwoods on top of that. But we really could have signed some players in January, even if they might not even be that great, but cover into the end of the season. So Partey will be a massive miss if he gets injured. But I mainly think Saka and Smith Rowe are the 2 players that actually carried us, Marley.
okay, okay. And King Said says Odegaard and White. If you think about it, we've mentioned pretty much every starting player other than Tomiyasu, who I'm sure would have been mentioned if he wasn't injured already and Cedric was doing a good job because Tomiyasu was crucial for Arsenal.
Yeah, even
Even everyone's
Tomiyasu for me is a fantastic signing, and like at the start of the season, I was like, "Who's this? Who's that? Not good enough," and all that stuff. I remember saying it to Stephen on his channel,
yeah.
and Stephen like proper said to me that Tomiyasu is good, and he was right. And for me, I was wrong. But Tomiyasu has been a fantastic signing, and I cannot wait until he comes back. And don't get me wrong, how much I don't rate Cedric for me is actually flipping doing all right.
He's been playing well.
And he's playing really well. And for me, that's why he's got into the Portugal side. So for me, Cedric's actually playing really well at the moment, despite I don't rate the guy. But when Tomiyasu comes back, despite Cedric has done very well as rotation, Tomiyasu, when he comes back, he's going to be a massive key. Like, my only issue with Tomiyasu is that will he become the same player, though? That's the thing. Like, obviously his injury's not a long term, but
Yeah,
is
I
he
don't.
going to be? Well,
I'm
how
not
is his
too worried
performance
about
going to
that.
be? Like, no, I'm not worried, but you just don't know. So,
just wrapping up what I was saying. So we can only afford to let Gabriel,
Yeah.
Tierney, Xhaka, and Martinelli get injured. That's pretty much what it means. The discussion we had because we mentioned everyone else because
Again, I was saying about Ramsdale. I think Leno stepped up last game. I think he can still do the job. Maybe distribution is not there yet, but yeah, I think Leno can still make saves like he showed against Villa in the last minute, like when he had to make that save. And with respect to Luca's point, Luca, don't worry. Tomiyasu's not becoming no Hector Bellerin. Even if he comes
Well, I
back
hope
after an
not.
injury, he's fine.
Letitia, you are in.
Do you even need to ask me that after the year that I've had?
you know, we're we're kind of done. So I wanna create something else here. Both Caio and Said in the comments mentioned Ben White, so I want to hear from you guys because I don't think it's going to be a consensus here. Who do you think we can afford to lose the most, Ben White or Gabriel Magalhães? I know Caio's answer already, but Nitesh, like, who would worry you the most if he got injured? G-Mag or Ben White?
Uh, I think looking at what Holding has done so far this season, I wouldn't be worried if either of them are injured. The only thing
Okay.
that yeah, it would obstruct our play a bit. The style of play would maybe slow down a bit, and passes from the back. But if you have seen like some of the numbers as well, even if Ben White has been injured, but Ramsdale has been at the back, then what he does is he directs the ball directly into the midfield. He does not always need to go through the center back. He can try doing that, like maybe party falling deep and playing the ball then further forward. So yeah, it would obstruct our play to an extent, but I think with Holding coming in, if you have to say like control the flow, then obviously then Ben White is the answer. Because Gabriel lets that part of the game be with Ben White, and he doesn't interfere in that much.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Holding is as good as a distributor as Ben White. So I think out of the two, I think it will be then Ben White in that sense, with respect
Okay.
to our forward transition.
Cuz
Um, I say out of the two, the one that we shouldn't get injured and the one that I would miss the most at centre back would be Gabriel.
I figured
I,
you'd say that.
to be honest with you, it won't bother me if Ben White was injured. If he
Yeah.
got injured, I seriously, I don't think it would be. I mean, you've got, I know you've got old in there, old in there. He can most probably do round about the same job as Ben White, to be honest with you. Um, but there's another thing as well. I think, I mean, obviously, when people are talking about Tomiyasu, when he comes back into the team, I don't know if you ever noticed this actually on, when the game, if you actually, when you watch the game, um, Ben White didn't pass to Tomiyasu. He doesn't pass to him at all. And it was actually brought up in the interview when he was being
Mhm.
interviewed by some sports fans, and he said, "I don't pass to him because he's good." He said,
That's not what
I'd
he
rather
said.
not."
No,
It
cousin, that's not
was.
what he said.
Serious. No,
No.
honestly,
I remember
it's
the
seriously.
answer. It
What
was
was
a
it?
two-part answer. He said Tomiyasu's the best right back he's ever played with, but
Yeah, and
he doesn't pass to him because of its strategy, mate. Like I don't know. Caio and Nitesh can probably explain it, but when the right-sided right back passes to the right, well, right-sided center back passes to the right back, it leaves something flat. I don't know. Like football nerds, please help me here. He gave a
oh,
solid
okay.
explanation.
The
He gave a
problem
solid
is that
explanation.
the easy answer for that is that the pass between the right center back and the right back is the trigger for the opposition press. So what Ben White said on that interview is that he tries the best he can to attract the press to him and not towards Tomiyasu. But as Tomiyasu is so good and can play with both feet, most of times when he plays to Tomiyasu, it is not a problem. But this is the ball playing center back trait that Ben White has that other center backs don't have. and it's not so much about passing skills, because passing skills, well, many center backs have passing skills, good passes, long passes, medium range passes, but there's much about reading the opposition press and also sustaining the first pressure from the opposition to release the ball right at the time when the space behind the press is created. So Ben White's so good at this because he's never looking at the ball. He's always looking at the pitch. And when he moves the ball towards Gabriel and then back to Ben White and sometimes towards the right back, less so with Cedric playing, but more often when Tomiyasu plays, they are always moving the ball, expecting the opponent to move toward them so they can release the ball right in the moment when the opposition is in front of them, because then is when the space is created right behind the press. And what he said in that interview is also that for the center back, it's very comfortable to play the ball to the right back or to the left full back, and expect something to be solved. But most of times, as this is the usual trigger for the opposition press, when the right center back plays the ball to the right full back or the left full back, the fullback is in a very bad situation, because suddenly there are two players coming at him and he has the sideline where he can't play the ball through the sideline. He has to do some curved pass, or he has to run back and pass to the keeper or pass to the center back that now is pressured. So Ben White always takes into consideration the right time to play the ball to Tomiyasu. But Tomiyasu is so good; he's two-footed, so there are many examples where he receives the ball and his body position is towards the right, and the press comes to close his right foot, and he goes and he passes with the left because he has this line of passing to Party, because he can use his left. So yeah, I
Yeah, I
don't
just
think
wanna.
Holding can do that. This is my whole point. Holding is not good moving the ball,
I
not
think
at all.
Ben White's main pass that he has to find is he's actually looking for that Martinelli run on the left flank, which he plays the diagonal ball and it releases him. So he's always looking for that kind of pass, or otherwise feeding the ball into the midfield so that then it can be carried by Thomas Partey or Granit Xhaka, whoever is available. Generally, it's Partey. So I think these are the two specific kind of passes that are expected out of him as a ball playing centre back. If he and I remember the next game after this interview, he did make a pass to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu passed it back to him. So it was like it's like if you start playing with your right back and you start the centre back and the right back can play sideways passes all day long, but it won't take them anywhere because there is, as Kayo said, there is a lot of press coming in onto the right side of the, you can say, play. So that is when he tries to look for, as I said again, the Martinelli trigger run. Even if Smith Rowe is playing, he also makes those kind of runs when Ben White has the ball at his feet. Now, if Holding comes in, obviously he cannot play that kind of ball. If he plays that kind of ball, it's going for a goal kick for sure, maybe 9 times out of 10. But again, then what happens is then they try to differentiate maybe the style of play. They don't play those kind of long passes, or they wait for Odegaard or Partey to fall deep and play those, or it will then be Gabriel trying and testing his left foot, because even he can play long passes, but he just doesn't do it when Ben White is around. So I think that will change to an extent, but will that cost us games? I don't think so. Based on this season, what we have seen, I don't think we'll start losing games if Ben White isn't around. But yes, it would make it more difficult.
Gotcha.
Yeah, can I just add something to
Go
that?
ahead. Go ahead.
I agree that it's difficult to judge if we would lose games because of that. But I think the Leno and Ramsdale example is a good one because, as you said, Leno stepped up and he was good defending his goal. But if we can all remember all the play where the last full was made is because Leno tried to go kick and kicked it long out of play. So Leno is very bad at controlling his passes, and his technique is very, very, it's very lazy, I would say, because he only has one way of hitting the ball, and is with the spin, like he goes through the ball, and it's very difficult to put the ball where you want doing like this, and the ball loses a lot of speed, so it's difficult for Arsenal players to control it without pressure, because as the ball travels and travels and travels and travels, when it arrives, the Arsenal player is already pressed. So yeah, of course, Leno was good, but at the same time, Arsenal lost many moments where we were creating advantages with Ramsdale at goal. So we left a lot of good opportunities in the table, and I would say that okay, maybe Ben White is not that big of a miss, but I also think we would leave a lot at the table without him.
All right.
You know,
I
oh, sorry.
love having you two here. I
No,
love it. I
one
love
funny
it.
thing is, one very simple funny thing is, Brighton, and I was saying Harry Potter. Graham Potter cracked Arteta's tactics by simply putting one man there in front of the goal and stopping Ramsdale from playing that free pass and easy pass, and from Arsenal playing out of the back. No other manager has done since then done the same thing. If they wanted to beat us, all they had to do was put one man in front of the box and stop that playing out from the back. It is so simple. That would have just nullified our entire playing out from the back. Ramsdale in that game against Brighton was trying to kick the ball long. He was getting frustrated. He was not able to find passes. The defense was not able to do it. It was such a simple thing. Just watch that Brighton game and put one man outside our box. But for some reason, none of the teams in the Premier League are bothered to do that. So it's good for us.
Yeah, but I would say that it was one man, and the rain and the wind and everything that was happening, that none of the Ramsdale passes were going accurate. It was such a tough day, tough Premier League day. And this is where I always say the La Liga and Serie A, I'm sorry, those are not comparable to the Premier League, because they don't have that there. They have very much more easy games against the lower side table teams, and Brighton made that day be so difficult, so difficult.
Yeah. I think Anthony had to go because he has another stream to be on. But thank you, cousin, once again for coming. Luca, do you have anything to add to this conversation, my man?
To be honest, right, like I remember you were asking earlier about who's important out of Ben White and Gabriel. Gabriel's more important than Ben White, and I know Ben White has been on decent form recently, and Ben White for me, I'm still not his biggest fan, but Ben White for me has proved it so far, and if he can continue that, maybe I'll start getting on Ben White's side, and you know I always will back him on the day, and but for me Gabriel is so important. Like how he's been great since he's came in at Arsenal. Yeah, he's made a few clumsy decisions, but other than that, Gabriel will be really important, Marley, because Gabriel, if you take him out of that team, you ain't got any other decent centre back.
Well,
Rob Holding is not good enough for this football club. Chambers is gone.
I agree.
So who else is there apart if you take Gabriel out?
No, yeah, but that's
Tomiyasu can play
same.
centre back.
Yeah, he can
Tomiyasu
play
can
there
play
too.
centre
But same argument for Ben White though. Like there's a huge gap between the starting center backs and the ones we have on the bench. But you know that gets me to the point I want to make it my final point. Obviously, we're getting close to an hour, but you were Kaio and Nitesh. We're talking about the importance of Ben White, everything he brings to the table, and we don't have someone that can do the same thing as Ben White to come from the bench if he gets injured, for instance. Do you feel like Saliba can do the same job that Ben White does?
He can he
No,
can,
you can
but
go.
yeah, he can. But the thing is, then both of them can't play together because Saliba also plays like a midfielder. Ben White, when he carries the ball forward, is also midfielder SK. So, but if both of them are together in the team, then they will be out of position because they'll keep running into the midfield. So, if we have like we have to choose between him and White, then yes, I think they can play in the same kind of role. But I don't think that they both of them need a Gabriel to be next to them. They can't play without a man who's holding his position and staying back and not being adventurous. It's simple. Like, you need adventure, but you don't need too much adventure. Too much
Yeah,
adventure is not good for your health. So
yeah.
But do
if
you
both
think
of them are,
Natrish that Saliba could play with Gabriel?
he can definitely play with Gabriel. The problem will be if he and Ben White have to play together, because they both want to push forward. Either one of them will have to adjust their style of play and understand that if my partner is pushing forward, I need to have the other role, which is staying back and looking after the box and the counter attacks, which Gabriel does well. If they both try to do the same thing, I think then we'll get caught out more easily. So that is the only concern.
Okay. Kaya?
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I think Saliba will come back, and I'm fully expecting him to compete for places in the starting 11. And he's so good, also. It was the best decision to send him on loan, and on loan at a Marseille side that has Sampaoli as coach, because Sampaoli has that Bielsa thing of teaching the players the minimal stuff, how to carry the ball, how to pass the ball, how to position your body, when and where to press. So he's coming. It's not all about experience, but also about experience, not of playing matches, but experience training hard and training with the right setup to come back at Arsenal and challenge. And the transition between Marseille and what Arsenal do at the back will be so minimal, I think. And it was a great decision, and he will come back. And next season we will not even talk about signing a new center back. If we have Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White, we are sorted there. Really, that's my opinion.
I reckon Holding should stay as well, right? For that.
Yeah.
Rob
Yeah.
Holding. Rob Holding's not good enough.
No, he's not Luca, but we have other priorities in this window. You get it? Like we're probably gonna have to replace Xhaka, El Neni, Lacazette, maybe Pepe. We need a second striker as well. So that's
Yeah.
5 players already. So I
Yeah,
really don't want us to look at center backs this season.
and
I
we
don't.
can be real. Liverpool was champion with Lovren, and City won the title with Otamendi. It's not like we need the best four good first team choices as for the center back position. I really think the Holding would not compromise. If we have these other three pieces, we wouldn't even remember.
Yeah.
I honestly feel that there will be some kind of a 40 million ish offer coming in for Holding, and they'll be like, okay, IOB 2.0, let's get rid of him and buy probably a young centre back from one of these clubs. And there are a lot of good defenders, young defenders who are upcoming. I think that we can look at. So I think if they get an offer of around 40 million odd from a club like Newcastle, they'll be like, okay, you can take Holding, give us the money, we will spend
I,
it somewhere else.
I think we have good center backs out on loan as well. Good young center backs doing well in their loan spells. But anyway, guys, it's been an amazing show. I really enjoyed myself. It was a little different with like more specific themes. I want to give each one of you the space to shout out your socials. But if you're still watching this, thank you so much for staying with us for an hour. Luca, where can people find you, man?
Yes. Follow me on Twitter, Martinelli AFC1. Follow me on Twitter and follow me on Twitter. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers on Twitter. And YouTube, this channel here, This is Luca's Life. Go back and watch my previous stream I done today. And we're on the road to 1,600 subscribers, and get subscribing. But thank you very much for inviting me on, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We're gonna have full shows with you in the future as well. You're always welcome on the
Man.
channel. Good
We
friend of
will.
mine. The man beyond the post, Nitesh.
Uh,
Where can we
I,
find
I
you?
just I just hope tomorrow morning I don't wake up and remember, oh, I had a dream that I was on Marley's stream and did it actually happen? but but honestly, yeah. Thanks for having me on. I know I'm half asleep right now still, but You can find me on Beyond the Post on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as well, and do check out our Arsenal page on Facebook, which is Arsenal FC fans. I'm floating around all these channels: Steven's channel, Mali's channel, Football United TV, and even sometimes on other streams like Igal's channel. But let's see, maybe I'll get back to YouTube someday. IPL is starting today for all you IPL fans and cricket fans. So all those deals need to be closed in, and then probably I can come back to YouTube soon. Thanks for having me again.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here as always. Classy as always. And Caio, my man, thank you for the suggestion. I think it worked out great. It was a great stream, man. Thank you for being here as always, my man.
Thanks again. Thanks, Anthony, Natesh, and Luca. And people can find me here at AFC_FOCO. That's Portuguese content about Arsenal, but you can use the translate tool at Twitter. And I also have another project about Corinthians. If anyone fancies some Brazilian football, it's at SCCP_FOCO, also Portuguese content. Thanks.
Yeah. Do check it out, guys. Corinthians is a massive club. They're getting back to it. They're getting back to their best. They have over 30 million fans. So definitely, if you want to look into it, for sure. I forgot to read a couple of comments. Let me just do that before I leave. Mornelli has shown they can. Yeah, absolutely. Agree with you there, Said. Solo, thank you for checking us out once again. Even if you're on two streams, thank you, brother. And I think Stones and Diaz have shown that you can play with two ball playing center backs. It's just about communication. Oh, we're not going to have time to discuss this. This is interesting. I'll leave it to next stream.
Tempted. No, just one sentence again.
Go ahead.
White and Saliba can play that role, but they need to have that understanding, which I was saying. Like one of them has to stay back while the other goes forward. That's it.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much for staying with us for the hour. We hope to see you again next Friday. We have a couple of exciting shows next week as well. We're going to have a little chat about Libertadores and the Copa Sul-Americana. Maybe you'll get to see Caio again. Let's hope so. And with my man Johnny. And yeah, that's it. Guys, ciao.